Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, morning headlines on January 25, 2023. Evicted Texas princess won't leave Roman villa with $355 million Caravaggio mural. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the hot dog seller who rose to the top of Putin's war machine. Washington Post condemns Pompeo for vile, Khashoggi, falsehoods. The Guardian, Donald Trump asked me to fill two roles at once, says Mike Pompeo. The Times, Washington Post blasts Pompeo's vile falsehoods on Jamal Khashoggi. New Trump photo with mobster surfaces a day after outrage over ex-mob boss photo op. The Independent, Trump photographed with former mob boss, flashback to Nick Fuentes dinner. Business Insider, Trump campaign denies he knew convicted mob boss he posed with in photo. The Independent, Joey Merlino, Donald Trump didn't know who I was when we posed for a photo at his golf club. Andrew Tate moans his prison cell has cockroaches, lice and bed bugs. China COVID, coffins sell out as losses mount. BBC, China admits 13,000 COVID deaths in a week amid New Year travel rush. The Times, Chinese migrant workers face crackdown for malicious protests over unpaid wages. Financial Times, 8 in 10 people in China caught COVID since early December, say officials. The Guardian, China reports nearly 13,000 COVID deaths in a single week as officials say peak may be over. UK placed in third tier in Global Index of Free Expression. Georgia grand jury report into Donald Trump remains sealed, for now. BBC, Fulton County judge to decide on Trump report over alleged election interference. USA News Live. CNN News 18, Georgia DA asks for report on grand jury election probe to remain sealed. MH17, court ruling due on Dutch case against Russia. Selfies, sendoffs and star power as Jacinda Ardern has her last day in the sun. The Guardian, Jacinda Ardern denies quitting over criticism she faced as PM. The Telegraph, Jacinda Ardern gives tearful final address as Prime Minister. The Times, promise and pragmatism, on Jacinda Ardern's term as New Zealand PM. The Hindu, Jacinda Ardern bids emotional farewell at last event as New Zealand's PM. Revealed, how the North-South divide affects the UK economy. Chris Hipkins says cost of living is absolute priority as he becomes New Zealand Prime Minister. The Guardian, Jacinda Ardern's successor Chris Hipkins sworn in as New Zealand PM. BBC, Live, Chris Hipkins sworn in as New Zealand's PM after Jacinda Ardern steps down. The Independent, troubleshooter Chris Hipkins faces a tough road as New Zealand PM. Reuters, Hipkins sworn in as New Zealand PM as Ardern bows out. Police arrest Sicilian whose identity was used by fugitive mafia boss. The Guardian, Matteo Messina Denaro, man whose identity was used by prolific mafia boss arrested in Sicily. Sky News, a cousin of a Sicilian mafia boss is fighting the mafia mentality. Wanted in Rome, Matteo Messina Denaro accomplice arrested for letting mafia boss use his identity. The Mirror, Italian police arrest man whose ID helped fugitive mobster. Germany to send tanks to Ukraine to help fight Putin's forces, live. The Independent, top Ukrainian officials quit in anti-corruption drive. BBC, Zelensky ramps up anti-corruption drive as 15 Ukrainian officials exit. The Guardian, Ukraine News, live, Russia decries blatant provocation as US and Germany poised to deliver tanks. The Independent, Ukraine purges officials, governors in biggest shakeup of war. Doomsday Clock at record 90 seconds to midnight amid Ukraine crisis. The Guardian, Doomsday Clock moves 10 seconds closer to midnight as Ukraine war rages. Sky News, Doomsday Clock moves closer to midnight as war in Ukraine escalates. The Telegraph, opinion, the Doomsday Clock is ticking, clock's hands move closest ever to midnight and catastrophe. CNN, world is 10 seconds closer to doomsday, world. US and Germany ready to send tanks to Ukraine, reports. BBC, Germany will send Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine, reports. Channel 4 News, Biden set to authorize shipment of Abrams tanks to Ukraine. The Independent, The Irish Times view on sending tanks to Ukraine, The Irish Times. The Irish Times, Poland PM urges German bravery on tanks for Ukraine, BBC News. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.